Hi, I'm Bloodied Porcelain, and I will be playing Nienna, the Elven Mage.
Hi, I'm Overthinker, and I will be playing Irileth, the Elven Assassin.
Hi, I'm Siegryn. I'm Stabbykinz. I'll be playing Siegryn, the Dwarven Merchant.
Hello, I'm Grizz, and I'll be playing Fenix, the Werewolf Silversmith.
And I'm Solomon, and I will be your storyteller for this evening. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment with Brynnhilder, but they will return as soon as they are able. When we had last left our professionals, they had found out that the best way to get to Geralt was to have someone track his general location in Tucson, calling on some favors from Tasha, a Skelligan witch. Brynnhilder managed to bring her here and to get her working on finding out where exactly he was, so that way they could go and talk to him and figure out how exactly they're able to stop the Man of Glass, the Master of Mirrors, or the Mirror Merchant. However, as they were working to do this, as they were getting other allies to come and join them, as they were getting supplies together, Fenix found himself smelling the scent of Master Hattori and a few others, but his keen werewolf senses were able to tell that something was wrong. Was able to tell that they were not truly his master and his workers, but Dopplers taking on their faces and trying to come in, pretending to be them. And so, with one feral and intense swipe of claws and the biting off of the Doppler's head, the one masquerading as Master Hattori was no more, leaving 5 Dopplers left, all drawing, some drawing steel, some drawing silver, and one drawing silver having seen Brynnhilder, who came rushing out as quickly as she could and shapeshifting into her. We are going to begin with the Doppler that rolled initiative 17, the Doppler that took the shape of Brynnhilder. Brynnhilder, I would like you to please roll me your Witcher training, if you would, please.
29.
Jesus. With a 29, you know that Dopplers, when they take a person's form, they don't just take the general scent, the shape, the mannerisms, the voice. They also take some of the skills. You have known of Witchers who have faced Dopplers who shapeshifted into those Witchers. And while they do fight akin to Witchers and even have access to some of their signs, they are a bit weaker when working with them. They have the physical, they have the talent, but they don't have all of the skill when it comes to taking the form of another Witcher. And this one shows that by raising its hand and making the sign of Ard. And I would like you to either try to dodge out of the way of being blasted back by Ard, or if you'd like, since you are of the Griffin School, you can quickly put up Quen to block it.
I would like to Quen.
Okay, please give me a roll of spellcasting.
$22.
All right, with a 22, you are able to block the blast. It is strong, but it's not as strong as one of your own blasts that you have been able to conjure up before. It seems like the Doppler is still working to work out the kinks of being you, but they grin and move to hop up onto the cart and swing their silver blade at Fenix. Fenix, in your feral form, you are able to work to dodge out of the way, but you are so captured by the rage of the audacity that they use to take the form of your master, that your dodge will unfortunately be at a -3 because you're more focused on just making sure that they all die for their transgressions as opposed to protecting yourself.
You got it. I will roll dodge. This will be at a -3. I made a macro to make it
Yes.
easier. So
Yeah, fair enough.
it didn't. Oh my god! Why didn't this work? Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
God, my eyes are terrible. Yeah, I know. All right, save changes. Do that again. It's gonna be 20.
Okay. With a 20, you get most of the way out of the way, but you still feel the sting as the silver bites into your thigh. And unfortunately, as it is silver, you will still take the full damage as opposed to only taking half like you would for regular weaponry.
Mhm.
You take a grand total of 6 points of damage as it leaves a large, gnarly gash that seems to burn as well as cut across your haunch.
Okay. Also, are we following the moon dust bomb rules for myself?
Could you please remind me what the moon dust bomb does?
Because as far as I'm aware, silver doesn't slow down my regenerative abilities in this tabletop. Only that does.
That's correct. It will not slow down your regenerative abilities. It just does full damage. If they throw a moon dust bomb at you, that will slow it down.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so you take that hit, and now, Brynnhilder, you are able to focus after pushing the blast away, and you see the Doppler that took your form has now attacked your werewolf friend, who is I don't think you've ever really seen him go this intensely rageful, especially since for the most of the time you've known him, he's had the pins that keep him in check. But you know that you've seen a werewolf get angry, and if he doesn't get a hold of himself, you may need to help him. The best way that you could think just innately would be to use Axii, which would calm him, but it would be still using magic on him, which may say something about the relationship afterwards. But you do see the Doppler that took your shape and 4 others that are drawing weapons.
All right. I think the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to I think I'm gonna fire stream the one that's doppling as me first.
Okay. Please feel free to give me the spellcasting roll. And how much stamina are you going to push into this? As much as you can, or a lesser amount?
I think for this, I'm gonna put in I'm gonna put in 3 points of stamina.
Okay. Please making the spellcasting roll, please.
$21.
And they need to make a test to dodge. And with a 20, you're still able to beat them. So you catch them in the stream. Feel free to roll the d6s of damage for the fire stream if you would.
Okay. 12.
Okay. They take that damage, and they are wincing and grunting in pain, but they kind of have your mannerisms where it's less large vocalizations, just more just softer and more like subtle ones. But they are working to pat the fire out and basically have leapt off of the wagon again to stop, drop, and roll into the mud. And would you like to do anything else, or are you focusing on the Doppler that is doppling as you?
I think I'm gonna close in on the. I'm gonna close in on the Dopplers and try to like put like a protective barrier between at least the one that looks like me and Fenix.
Okay. You have moved around there, and you are working to act as guard against the silver weapon of the false witcher, so that way you can protect Fenix. Excellent. Next up is Nienna, who sees Fenix in an intense rage. You've not seen Fenix in werewolf forms much, but this is a much more intense anger than you've ever seen of Fenix just as a whole. It is all encompassing, and it is altering his judgment. As you can see that he took that blade when he probably should have been able to get out of the way quite easily. And you see Brynnhilder fighting Brynnhilder.
Okay. I don't know that I can help with either of those things right this second. There are bigger things going on. We all saw the Doppler turn into Brynnhilder, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to focus on that Doppler.
Okay.
And cast Cadfin's Grasp.
Ooh.
So Nienna kind of reaches a hand out towards it and focuses on the weapon in its hand. And the weapon starts to glow fiery red.
Okay, give me the spellcasting check, please.
$23.
Very easily done. The silver weapon in the Doppler's hand glows intensely red and then even white, and she lets out and drops it as it begins to sear into the mud and the ground. You can see that their hand is quite badly burnt by that, and they are now unarmed.
Okay.
Could you please roll me 1d6 to see how long the spell lasts?
Sure.
4 rounds, so their weapon will be out of commission for 4 rounds.
I will, I'm gonna stay at a distance where I can be helpful, but not so close that I'm likely to get hit. Unless somebody specifically comes after me.
Fair enough. So you do that, and then you see another Doppler who was behind Brynnhilder and Brynnhilder. And the Doppler looks over at you, sees the spell that you cast, looks up at you, grins, and immediately begins shifting, and spends their turn shifting into you.
Good to know. I'm gonna hope that our badass sniper sees that and deals with that.
Fair enough. The third Doppler moves up onto the wagon to swipe at Fenix again. Fenix, you can dodge this one as well, but you'll be at a -4 given that it's an additional dodge on top of the rage negative.
So 4 total or 7 total?
4 total.
Okay. All right. So this will be at a -4. That's a 23.
And
actually, roll another d10 or?
Yes, please.
Okay. Skadoosh. That's going to be a 26 total.
And with that total, even with the red that you're seeing just entirely, you bat the sword arm away quite easily. It doesn't seem like the Dopplers are able to take the forms of monsters, just people. So he's just looking up at you and just says, "Oh, fuck." And with that, it is actually Phoenix's turn.
Oh. What am I doing, boss?
You are grinning maliciously down at the Doppler that just took a swipe at you with their blade. And you are angry, but the one that actually caused the rage has been dealt with. So his accomplices draw a little bit less of your ire to the point where the wolf kind of wants to cruelly play with its food. So you're going to go ahead and make 2 claw strikes for me at this one, please.
All right. So that's 2 brawl or melee?
Those will be 2 brawl strikes.
You got it.
They will be like quick strikes, so you don't take any negatives here.
Okay. First one, 29. Second, 25.
Okay. The first one is definitely a crit. I'm just double checking how much of a crit it is. Okay, the first one is a simple crit, and the second one is another simple crit. So you'll be dealing the regular damage and dealing an additional 3 points with each strike.
Okay. First claw. Oh, wow.
Oof.
That's fine. That's okay. Second claw. Okay, sure. There we go.
Good
There you
lord,
go.
that is the most bipolar rolling I think I've ever seen from you.
That's pretty intense.
For the people who cannot see, that's 4 ones on the first damage roll and 3 6s on the second.
So that's 9 for the first one and then 27 on the second.
All right. The Doppler is still up, as it seems like the clothes that they're wearing actually do have tough leathers underneath them to help a little bit. But you're shredding through their armor fairly quickly, and please roll me 2 sets of 2d12, please. Or 2d6, my bad.
Okay. And am I rolling for my bleed chance on this?
Please do.
Okay. It's 91 and a 61, so no.
Unfortunate. However, you are still tearing them asunder. One claw goes right through their chest, and even like pierces into their arm. And you can see that the arm is very, just from the strength of the blow, is dangling a little bit limply. And the second strike hits them so hard into the cart that the cart railing shatters, and you can see that some of it has basically stuck itself into their rib cage.
Okay.
Still up, but not by much. Next up is Irileth.
Okay, so there's several here who are still in the forms they had before. One who has become Nienna, and the other has become Brynnhilder.
Yes, the one that's become Brynnhilder is basically squaring off with Brynnhilder, but does not have their sword anymore. The one that has become Nienna looks like they are getting ready to try to utilize the chaos that is now available to them.
Well,
and then
those
there
are
are, of
both
course,
concerning.
and then there are, of course, the 3 regular Dopplers, one that Fenix just began tearing into.
Okay. Even I'm quite a distance away. I'm not gonna have trouble telling which one's which, am I?
You're not, because the Nienna Doppler is holding a sword instead of the staff or bow that Nienna normally has, and the Brynnhilder Doppler is disarmed, so you're able to tell which one's which that way.
Okay, I think I'm actually gonna hit the Brynnhilder Doppler.
Okay, they are at medium distance for you, which would deal a -2, but because of your extreme range training, you're able to ignore the penalty. So you just go ahead and give me the flat roll for you. And are you aiming for any specific part, or just putting a shot down range?
I'm probably gonna target the chest or head.
Okay, targeting the head would be a -6 to this roll. Targeting the chest, I believe, is just a -2.
Any additional modifiers, given that I'm firing at range, maybe they're not expecting it?
Because they're not expecting it, they're just going to have a severe penalty to their dodge. Because while they're not expecting it, you are firing at what is effectively a Witcher, so they have a little bit of their enhanced reflexes.
That's a 22 to hit for a headshot.
Okay. You bring your bow up, pull the arrow back, and release it, pushing the bow to the side so that way the arrow stays on target, as opposed to the arrow getting knocked off course from pushing the bow as it releases. And you see that the arrow soars, and the false Witcher tries to get out of the way, but is unable to. Please roll me damage.
Oh shit.
And this damage will be doubled because it's a headshot.
It's a very low roll.
All right, so with 32 points of damage directly to the head, that Doppler is looking very, very, very beat up, and basically hanging on to life by the very barest of threads, because the arrow doesn't manage to stick like into anything like right into the temple, but you see that the arrow does sink like right into their neck and pierces out the other side, and they're trying to basically hold in the blood, even though their esophagus has been pierced. And is that all you would like to do, or would you like to take some stamina and do another shot at someone else?
Yeah, I might as well.
Okie dokie. This next shot will be at a -3 on top of any other negatives you take, because it is a second attack.
25 to hit.
Are you aiming at the same Doppler or a different one?
I think I'll finish the same one.
Okay, so that hits. Go ahead and roll the damage for that, please. All right. Doesn't matter where it hits, that is enough to take down this Doppler, as the second arrow just, while they're like trying to basically hold the blood in from their pierced neck, the second arrow just goes right through their chest and where the heart should be, and they fall to the side and begin shifting back into their normal Doppler form.
Excellent. How much damage does that cost?
I believe a second action costs only 1. Let me double check real quick, please.
We got some damage shrinkage over here for both of us.
Lots of 1s here, but every little bit counts. Yes, you can. So it only costs 1 point of stamina.
Cool. So then my turn is done.
All right. And also, Fenix, I need you to take 1 point of stamina because the second dodge that you had to roll takes 1 point of stamina. You get 1 free dodge, and every dodge after that takes a point of stamina.
Understood.
And finally, we have our natural-born sprinter herself, Siegryn.
Nice. She'll go ahead and put a couple fingers in her mouth, and she's going to whistle sharply and point at the Doppler that is shape-shifting into Nienna, and she's going to shout, "Hands, boy!"
And Render is going to come barreling out as quickly as possible, and focusing so quickly on movement and at attacking the figure that you're pointing at. He will go ahead and make some strikes at the Nienna Doppler. Nienna, could you please tell me what your reflex plus dodge total is?
That would be reflex plus dodge. I'm never gonna get used to this sheet. Where's dodge? Reflex plus dex?
Dexterity at the bottom.
Dexterity and nope. Reflexes, it's in the skills. Reflexes, it's dodge / escape, right under brawling.
Gotcha. It's just my reflexes then, which is 9.
Okay.
Not built to be in combat, built to stay as far away from the melee as possible.
So Render rushes up and begins snapping at this figure, but seems confused, given the fact that this figure looks and smells similar enough to Nienna, and that confusion just gives barely enough time for the Nienna Doppler to get her hands out of the way of the snapping maws. Just barely, though.
Nuts. Is Siegryn able to follow up with an attack?
Yeah, you're able. What is your speed, if you could tell me, please?
Let me take a look real quick. Speed is... it's 6.
Okay, you are able to definitely get within range of the Nienna Doppler or the other regular Doppler that's on this side. The 2 on the other side of the cart, however, that Fenix is focusing on, you would not be able to get to with that speed.
No worries. So she is going to sprint up while the Doppler is distracted with Render, and she will jump up onto Render's hind, and as he bucks up a little, she's gonna jump and get just a little bit more distance up in the air, just perfectly at head height, as she is going to try and serve up a strong haymaker.
All right, give me a strong attack with your silver knuckles, if you would.
Absolutely.
And it will unfortunately be at an additional -6 because you're going to... Actually, I'll just say it's at a -5 because you got the help from Render.
Alrighty. So I just click on Strong Strike for the macro, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any additional modifiers for this attack?
Just the -5 because you're aiming for the head. So you leap up and you think that you're right, just about to hit, and you swing and you feel the connection of your silver knuckles right into the nose of this Nienna-looking motherfucker.
Excellent.
So since you hit the head, that damage is doubled to 18. And I'm going to go ahead and roll a stun save to make sure to see if this figure gets stunned from getting punched right in the nose so hard.
Very nice.
They needed to roll, I believe Nienna's body is a 10. Nienna's body is an 8. They needed to roll an 8 or lower, and they failed. So they are now stunned their next turn.
Very nice. Okay, well, this was a productive turn. But I'll tell you what. Am I able to make another attack as Siegryn lands?
If you would like to go ahead and spend a point of stamina, you can make an additional attack at a -3 penalty.
I absolutely will, and this time I will not discriminate on where the attack lands.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll for me. Are you doing another strong strike, or are you doing a swift strike?
Let's do another strong. Why not?
Okay.
Okay, what was the penalty on that?
The penalty will be at a -3.
Oh no.
Well, you landed a little harder than you expected.
What happens, glorious GM?
So you land a little harder than expected, and you were getting up to swing, just like, all right, I'll get you. And then you just swing so hard, but you miss where they were because you were expecting them to sort of be like doubled over a little bit, and you just turn and like fall on your ass in the mud.
Oh, you try, Siegryn. You try so hard. Okay. She's gonna pick herself up. That's gonna be the turn. I'm not gonna jinx this anymore.
Fair enough. And we are back at the top of the initiative. The Doppler that was pretending to be Brynnhilder is dead. So now it is just the real Brynnhilder.
Okay. I think I'm going to take out my silvered sword, and I see the one that's trying to transform into Nienna, right?
Yes, the one that has transformed into Nienna and is currently stunned, so they're having a really bad time.
Wonderful. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to do a couple fast strikes on her.
Okay.
This is very uncanny.
We might need a little bit of therapy after this.
Well.
How do you think I feel? My potential love interest is about to kill me.
The first attack's a 27, the second attack's a 17.
Okay. I need you to please roll me. Please roll me 1d10.
Six.
Okay, so the first strike, very easily done. Go ahead and roll the damage for that one.
Okay.
And because they're stunned, let's see. And you deal a deadly critical to them because they are unable to defend themselves against you. You only need to beat a DC 10 to strike against a stunned target.
I did 19 base damage.
Yep. That is the silver. So this Witcher Silver Sword does 1d6 normally, but then it adds the silver afterwards. So the total would be the 19.
Okay.
Plus a grand total of, because it's a deadly critical, you also deal an additional 10 points of damage. That's 29 silver damage.
Okay.
And the second strike you will deal regular damage for, but you'll also afterwards be staggered because your strike hits something. It just hits a bone awkwardly, and your blade comes up, and you just need to take a second to like readjust yourself.
Okay. So that does an additional 1.
Okay. So as you bring your blade down, could you please describe how you murder this individual that had the audacity to take the image of your love interest?
Brynnhilder, seeing that her doppelganger went down, looks mildly annoyed that she wasn't the one doing the killing blow to it, but shakes that off and notices that there is about to be a copy of a mage. So she just quickly grabs onto her silver sword and runs with all of her might as she goes, and it doesn't really notice that it's stunned to begin with, and just very swiftly just throws the sword right into the pit of her stomach to begin, and then grabs it out, kind of runs back and tries to like stab it like right in the leg, and hits the awkward bone, which kind of it's a bit of a shock because it hits her leg bone. So she's running, and it kind of like kicks her off her center of balance for a moment, and then she's able to readjust and just carves right through the back, sending it down.
Okay, and it falls over and shifts back. The two parts of it shifting back into a more feminine Doppler form, and it is dead now. As you are staggered, you can act normally, but your next action will be at a -2. So if you would like to act again, you can spend a point of stamina to do more strikes or to cast a spell, or you can just go ahead and say and just keep the negatives minimal and take the -2 on your next action next turn.
I'll just keep the action for next turn.
Okay. Next up is the individual that is known as Nienna, because the Doppler that was looking like Nienna is now dead.
And the only 2 Dopplers that are left are the ones over by Fenix, right?
There are 3 Dopplers left. There's one over by you guys that is not shapeshifted, and there are 2 over by Fenix. One that is looking very, very hurt.
Okay. How big of a space are we talking about that they're in?
About the 2 that are close by are like literally right next to each other. Like you could catch them in anything that would have like even a meter of AoE.
Okay. Well, I have a spell that's a 4 meter AoE.
You have enough room that you could like maneuver that so that way you didn't catch any of your friends.
Okay. I will bring my hand up, and I will center it between the 3 that are left. But be very careful about where I'm placing it. And Nienna starts to chant, and her hand glows blue and her eyes light up with power. And then there is like a almost like a sucking sound and the ground begins to kind of wobble and go all weird, and then quickly turns into water. It's a massive, powerful whirlpool.
Ooh.
As I cast Curse of Sedna.
Go ahead and roll the spellcasting check for me, please.
$25.
Yeah, they need to go ahead and make a check. Swimming check. Oh, boy. No cigar. You see them just be like, oh shit, we weren't paid enough, and then just immediately start getting pulled into a whirlpool of water and mud and stone, and just trying to fight it, but they are being sucked down into the earth itself, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a good way to go for them.
Yeah, I have to hold it for a while. Basically, I think we have to like burn all of their stamina, or they have to be suffocated for a certain number of rounds or something like that. But I'm gonna focus on holding that, and I'm gonna look over at Brynnhilder and then glance toward Fenix. You need to go and get him before one of us becomes the next target.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, it is now the turn of Fenix. The targets that have had the audacity to take the form of your master and those working for him, and to take his cart, his horses, and his weapons, and to turn them against you, most of them are dying. I need you to make me a test of 1d10 plus your willpower to try to come down from this rage.
Okay. Jeez. Fine. Just straight willpower?
Just straight willpower.
You got it.
That is a will save. I need just a test of 1d10 plus your willpower. Hitting the actual stat itself does a save.
Oh, I thought it was safe. That's my bad. Okay.
No worries. A 15. That is enough to the point where you are staying yourself from turning to the nearest figure, which is Brynnhilder, and swiping at her. But it is not enough to fully regain control. This rage it's been pent up for so long because you've had this silver inside of you for so long, and it's all coming out, just spilling all at once. And you're trying to hold it back. But you are able to get a few words out if you wish, but you are spending the turn basically keeping yourself from tearing into your allies.
Did he drop his silver weapon when he got sucked in?
Yes.
Do I have enough mental strength to take that and stab that into myself?
I would say that will require another will test.
Okay. No. 13.
The rage inside of you, the love of the freedom from being held back by the silver, it's fighting you with everything it's got, almost like it's an entity in and of itself. Like what the Master of Mirrors did to you sort of split you a little bit, and that crack is sort of becoming its own beast. It is outside of yourself to be able to stab the silver into yourself, but you are not tearing into your allies, and you think that with that just taking a bit of time and focusing, you should be able to regain full control again.
I think he's just staring at the silver sword while standing on the cart. That's what he's doing right now.
Fair enough. Irileth. There is one Doppler still standing, two that are being sucked into the earth in a form of mud whirlpool, like worse than quicksand because it is actively working to drag them down and drown them. And
Terrifying.
Yep. And one large terrifying wolf that has not turned on your allies, but seems to be staring at a glinting silver blade.
All right, I'd like to fire a shot to try and pin the surviving Doppler, and then probably I'll spend a point to fire another shot to disable his hand.
Okay, so those are going to be called shots. So with a called shot to the leg first, that will be a... You'll be making the roll at a -3. And actually a -2, my apologies. And then the second roll on top of the -3 for it being a second strike, you will be rolling at a -3 because of the called shot for hitting the arm. God damn.
So there's that.
Yep, that'll definitely hit. If you want to go, feel free to go ahead and roll damage.
And there's the arm shot. Now I'll roll damage.
Yeah, both of those are going to hit. Actually, hold on. Let's see if he's able to dodge. Nope. And
The first
even
one,
worse.
complex critical.
The first one is a deadly critical, so it'll be adding additional 10 points of damage. The second one is a complex critical, and it will deal an extra 5.
Cool, so that's 38 to his leg.
Okay, 38, but since it hit a limb, it is halved to 19.
And 28 to the arm.
And because that is halved as well, that'll be to 14. Still looking very fucked up, even just from his limbs getting hit. Please go ahead and roll me two sets of 2d6, please.
Seven twice.
Okay. So the first shot doesn't just hit the leg, it seems to hit like the liver and dig in like down into the thigh even, and he falls and the arrow shaft pierces into the ground. You get the general idea that this individual is probably not going to last too long even after the fight is over. You've seen a hit like that before. It's pierced into the organs that deal with processing waste, and it's likely getting into his bloodstream. And the second hit hits the arm, but also pins the arm to his torso, and just the way that his arm bent, it looks like it is broken, but also it's very likely that it hit with such force that you broke some of his ribs as well.
All right. Guess we'll have to interrogate him quickly then.
And with that done, we are down to Siegryn, who can see a Fenix that is currently growling and huffing and trying to like shake his head, looking like he's trying to lose some of that rage that was causing such a bloody mess earlier. You can see the individual bayou that is pinned by arrows. You can see the two that are trying to swim for their lives as they're being sucked down into the earth, and Render's looking at you curiously, as well as looking at Fenix and whining.
Okay. Quick reminder then. Are any of the Dopplers currently up and at him, or is it just the two that are now being like slowly subsumed into a horrible death?
There are the two being slowly subsumed into an awful death, and one that is still up, though he dropped his blade and he looks like he is suffering immense amounts of pain, and with his one good arm is basically waving like stop, like surrendering.
All right. In that case, she'll whistle for Render, grab that one, pull him back, and she'll kind of motion towards the estate proper, so Render knows where to kind of start dragging him away from Fenix.
Okay. Render is going to begin doing that. Is there anything that you would specifically like to do to aid the situation with Fenix or anything?
Let me think. You know, sure. She'll try and help de-escalate some of that rage. She'll keep a healthy distance from him, but she'll slowly start to talk towards him. Hey, Fenix, love, it's all right. Calm down now. Fighting's over.
Could you please give me a roll of empathy and charisma?
Empathy and charisma can do. 13.
Okay. Because of the history you two share, that 13 is enough to give him another roll of willpower to see if he's able to take the reins again. And lower the difficulties down as well.
Very nice.
So, Fenix, you're able to go ahead and make that roll again if you'd like.
Do I notice him being dragged away?
Give me a roll of awareness, please.
You got it. Okay. Yeah.
That is a D20.
What the hell is it doing? Oh, okay. Then minus 10, it'd be 30. Or want me to reroll it? I will, yeah.
Yeah, you guys need to roll a D10, not a D20.
Sure. 28.
Yeah, you're able to see that Render is working to drag away the one remaining Doppler.
Yeah. I'll make that roll then. 12.
So, you can feel that rage begin to build again as you see the one Doppler remaining that is still living, despite his injuries. But the voice of Siegryn of your friend gives you enough leeway that you're able to grab the reins back and push that rage down again. You think that if you have a few moments, you think that if you had some silver on hand, it would help you to keep the rage back. Or if you were to be magically calmed, that would help to push the rage down a little more permanently.
I don't think he... I think he, like, snorts at the silver sword and, like, looks away from it. He is going to jump off the cart. And start walking a short ways into the woods away from everyone.
Okay. With Fenix moving away from the battlefield, and one quick test of swimming from the other Dopplers. Oh, well, that's unfortunate for them. With the other two Dopplers both fumbling their swimming checks, they give off one last remaining scream and then begin fully being sucked down into the earth as the whirlpool takes them entirely.
Okay. Are we out of turn order?
You are out of turn order. You are out of combat.
I am dropping Curse of Sedna and moving over to where Render has the one that's being dragged away because it's obvious he's not long for this world. And we have questions. And I'm going to cast Magic Healing, and I'll do it however many rounds I need to because he had a critical wound. And I can fix a critical if I cast repeatedly.
Yeah, he had a complex wound and a deadly one, so yeah.
You just tell me how much stamina I'm burning.
With how fucked up he is, you're probably going to be burning through about 10.
Okay, done and done. I'm looking a little shaky, but I'm okay.
Understandably so.
Irileth is going to leave the manor and head to the road where everyone is.
I will put an arrow on the one that I healed so it doesn't get the dumb idea to try and run or shift.
Fair enough.
Move an eyelash and I'll shoot you in the face.
He just stares at you, a complete shock and horror in his eyes. He's like, I didn't sign up for a fucking fight the werewolf.
No one ever does, darling. Brynnhilder?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a handy way of binding magical creatures, perhaps?
I've got a trick or two up my sleeve.
Well, this one isn't going to die right away, and I imagine we have questions, so we might want to secure him.
I'm gonna take out my greatest magic spell, rope.
Ah, yes. The most powerful spell that anyone could ever hope to learn.
And I'll get to work on untying knots around his wrists and his ankles. And then after he's tied up, I'm gonna throw him in the middle of the field, and I will do I'm gonna do my Not the one that sets him on fire.
Irden, the magic trap?
Yeah. Yeah, the magic trap.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the spell casting roll for that.
Okay.
Just for shits and giggles. Easy. Not stationary target, bound up, not able to move. Yeah, he's completely bound within the power of Irden. He is at your mercy.
Did I see where Phoenix ran off to?
Yeah, you watched him walk off a little distance into the woods away from the fight.
Well, here he is. Feel free to question him. I'm gonna go make sure he doesn't lose his shit again.
Understood.
And she's gonna sheath her sword and run after Phoenix.
All right. We are going to start off with the interrogation first. So Irileth, Siegryn, Nienna, and Render. You now have a Doppler that is bound up, caught within a magical trap that keeps him within its bounds, and he has a little bit longer in this world thanks to Nienna's magical healing.
Nienna's gonna sit and keep an eye on things and help if she's needed. But she spent a lot of stamina in that fight, so she's gonna take a minute.
Siegryn is still wiping the mud off of her outfit, so she just kind of gestures for Render to kind of like basically pace around him and browbeat the guy and like maybe growl every now and then, just for added authenticity.
I'm going to roll intimidation for Render.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wolves are very threatening.
They are indeed.
Unless you talk, then the kids think you're awesome.
It's true.
It's the
Irileth is
fluffy.
going to check the guy for a contract.
You know generally where to check. Yeah, he's got the contract basically emblazoned in him. And with a grand total of intimidation of 23 from Render, he's looking very, very afraid. Well, even more so than before. He's like, fuck,
Excellent.
fuck, fucking wolves everywhere. Fuck.
All right, asshole. You decided to come out here, presumably on orders. Guess it didn't go well for you, did it?
No, it didn't.
Now listen, I pretty much know what's up here. I am curious. Is there any way for you to get out of this deal?
Yeah. Gotta do what the big man says until I'm released from it. At the and he just looks like he's trying to speak, but it looks like the contract almost seems to, some of the letters seem to glow a little bit more. And he's like, the moment the kids are in Dol Blathana, I'm free.
Where's Master Hattery?
Everyone, please give me an awareness test. Everyone who's here.
Okay.
19.
18.
Nienna and Irileth. You hear and some banging in the back of the cart.
I'm gonna go to the cart and get him out. I'll let
There
Irileth
is
be bad guy.
there is a large chest that has a very tied up Master Hattori with a black eye.
Oh dear. I'm gonna pull out one of the little knives that I have for like ritual working and cut him free.
He immediately brings his hand up to the gag that was used on him and just immediately begins spouting off just a long list of obscenities in elder speech, like getting to really, really, really dark shit about things done to the Doppler's bloodlines and their mothers and all that sort of thing. And then he hops down and gives and then he hops down and gives a quick kick to the Doppler's chest. Just fuck you.
Feel better?
Slightly. Where's the one that took my damn face?
Very dead.
Oh. Well, I hope it was painful, fucker.
She kind of looks around at the pieces of Doppler everywhere. I would say so.
Oh. One moment, and then you just see him move over to by a tree and just lose his lunch harder than Siegryn did with the drowners. Even
There are dozens of us.
Brynnhilder and Fenix went that way, but he was in a should I say furious mood. Seeing your face might help.
I'll head that. I'll head that way.
I'll reach over and cast healing on him. I know he's not hurt, but maybe it'll settle his stomach.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And he will stumble off in the direction that Fenix and Brynnhilder went.
So,
It's empty. What's going on?
just you lot.
As far as I know.
How many more are contracted?
Like 2, but they were kept closer to the boss.
Do you know anything about the Man of Mirrors?
The man of who now?
Do I believe him?
Give me a human perception check, please. Yeah, he doesn't. It's the Man of Mirrors is above his pay grade.
Okay. Once you got inside, what was the next move?
Burn the token in my left pocket. That would tell the mage where to make the portal. We would get the kids going through. And then I would be free from this shit.
I want to reach in and rifle through his pocket.
Yeah, you see, you reach in and you find a few coins, and you also find a small magical trinket. It looks kind of like a wooden coin, but that's one that's been engraved with elder speech.
Mm. I hold it up near the necklace that Brynnhilder gave me. Does it vibrate?
It do be vibrating. Not intensely, but
enough for me to
magic.
know that it's definitely magical.
Yes.
Good.
And was the mage going to come through or just open the portal?
He said he was going to open the portal and his buddies were going to come through. The 2 serpent witchers. The one with the bird head medallion. I've never seen that shit before.
And you have a time frame for this or just when you could?
As soon as possible. I think that after about a week, though, you probably assume that we failed, or help even after a couple days.
All right. I glance over at Nienna. Anything else?
Anna. Does he have anyone other than the witches helping him? And you?
No. It's just us. He
And
said
he
that
was-
this would be easy.
And he was not going to come through the portal.
Not him, no. He was going to be there He's going to be at the other side of the portal. Be the warm, welcoming face for the kids.
I see.
He said that this would be easy, that we would just be giving kids a better life. I didn't sign up for this.
You signed up knowing you couldn't get out.
I didn't think I'd have to.
You didn't think a guy who binds you to the death could maybe have poor intentions?
He said they were binding us not to give away secrets. I didn't know it was to the death. I didn't even know it was to the death until I heard that someone else burned away from the inside.
There we come to that. Are you going to go like that? Or do you want me to do it?
God, I just wanted a better life. But I guess I'll just settle for a quicker death.
All right. And I give it to him.
Okay.
Oh, well, Nienna, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say Nienna will kind of give Irileth a look and then turn and walk in the opposite direction because she doesn't want to be here for that.
What's Siegryn doing during all this?
She is finally finishing getting the mud out of her dress when she perks up and hears that basically gonna mercy kill the guy. Yeah, she's gonna turn around and like just start scuttling away, and she'll
Walking
leave.
in the same direction as Nienna.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're gonna let Irileth do the dirty work.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm here for.
And with one quick strike, the Doppler is no more. We return to the scene of Fenix walking through the forest. Fenix, what is going through your mind right now?
I think that as he's going through the woods, still in his wolf form, punching holes in trees to help himself calm down. It's hard not to be furious, but he's not mad at the Doppler so much as himself. He spent years keeping his head low, not transforming, just trying to be a person. And then within 5 days, the person who practically raised him was put under attack by Doppler sent by a mage. And he'd sworn ages ago that his family would never come under attack by one ever again, and now here he is in this situation. And it feels real good to be in the wolf. It feels good not to have the silver in. Just walk as he normally would. Smell and see as he normally would. So it's tough. He doesn't want to turn back.
You can smell your Witcher friend, but at the moment she is keeping her distance, wanting to make sure that you're back in control, safer again. But you also hear another individual. Fenix? Hey, Fenix! It is the actual voice of Master Hattori, and when you sniff, you smell, it is him. No Doppler twinge, it is just him as he actually is.
I think a sense of relief comes over him. But I think that relief is quickly underdone by just a sense of immense guilt. He's the one who asked him to come here. He's the one who told him to take the rest to help these kids. And while it's the right thing to do, you put him in immense danger. So he's going to keep his distance.
And you can hear the older elf just working his way through the forest, just damn forest, fucking, just say, yeah. And he's just like basically just struggling with a thicket that's caught onto his apron. He just like tears it and just flails a little bit, just in anger and frustration. Before he's like, "Oi, Fenix." And he is at the point where he is walking very assuredly to you, even in your wolf form. What's the matter with you?
I don't think he responds.
Hey. Hello? And he will move to stand in front of you now with his arms crossed. You see that he does have a black eye that looks like it is beginning to heal, likely healing quicker due to magic. What's the matter with you?
What's the eye?
It'll heal. I've had worse.
Yeah. You should head home.
Once I've made my delivery, I will.
Delivery is made. I'll need to repair the cart before you bring it back, so take a horse.
I think I'll just stick around, repair the cart here.
It's not safe here.
He just looks at you just like confused. I am an old elven smith who worked in Novigrad, surrounded by Redanians who hated me because of the fact my ears were pointed. I took on a werewolf as an apprentice to craft silver. I'm used to danger, Fenix. It doesn't scare me anymore.
No, Master, that's your normal life. What you're doing here, this is dangerous.
Okay.
We're facing... He's not even a mage, he's something else. It's Gaunter O'Dim.
Gaunter. I think that was the man that put me up in Novigrad, actually.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
Good proprietor. Liked my dumplings.
You should go. Please.
Should and will are two very different things, Fenix. I am in this now. They attacked me in my home. They took my cart and took my face. I'm not going to simply sit back and let this happen. If I can help, I will.
You just sit back, and you have helped. I need space for what needs to happen here. I need to know that you're going to be okay. I have 2 members of my family left. And one was just taken in a cart and thrown. Knocked out and dragged behind a bunch of fucking Domblers sent to capture a bunch of magical children to send them to a godlike being.
I almost want to say that now I have to stay, because it sounds like something from one of Master Dandelion's songs. But I see your point. Were I 20 years younger, I would be picking up a hammer and joining you.
It's you and my sister. I'm really not ready to lose a father again today, okay?
All right, son. All right.
Thank you. And I think you actually see like really big wolfy tears as he finally calms down.
Well, it's good to see that the stories about werewolf regeneration is true, as he just looks down to your haunt, which is, you can actually see the wound closing.
Yeah. Can you, can you send the letter to my sister?
Of course.
It's on my desk.
I'll be sure to send it as soon as I get back to the shop.
Thank you.
Just do your best to come back. You still haven't learned everything that I'm willing to teach you yet.
And, he'll give a short bow. Yes, master.
Good. And he will begin to just traipse his way back through the woods.
Terribly, in the least elf-like manner.
Absolutely. It's honestly a bit shocking just to see him so out of his element, despite the fact that he is an elf.
Literally the worst elf.
The worst elf.
And how long does Fenix stay out there again before heading back to the manor and the others?
I think he's actually going to loop around to the back. Because he was originally on watch duty. And he's going to keep an eye on our mage allies still working on the portal.
All right. When you get back around to where she is, you can see that she has put the ritual circle down. She's got all kinds of burning candles and incense burning around her, and she is with her kneeling with her arms splayed out and her eyes open, and you can feel the magic coming off of her, as it seems that with your keen eyesight, you're able to see that she actually has, it looks like her eyes are akin to the color of the sky, and she is focusing, searching, but she doesn't seem to really notice that you're there.
Yeah, he'll keep a good distance away, but he's gonna stand sentry.
Fair enough. And we are going to go ahead and come back to Master Hattery. Just finally stumbling his way out of the forest and being by the others again. Fenix will be back along shortly. I think your Vatgaren friend wanted to keep an eye on him too, just to make sure that he's okay.
Good. Let's get inside.
Yep, and he will drive the cart the rest of the way in and says, I will outfit your men, but I have been told that apparently I'm too old to join in on the fun, so I will be taking a horse and going back to Machina once everyone has their new weaponry that's actually befitting of this rather odd story you all seem to be wrapped up in.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
And he will just give a small smile and nod to Irileth and then bow before working to grab the weapons off the back of the cart and begin distributing them to the mercenaries, to the guard from Lord Einar. And you even see that he has a large hunk of steel that he or silver that he actually passes over to Biggin, and Biggin wraps his big mitt around it and looks like it's for how somebody would beat someone with a rock, but sized for a rock troll.
Crazy.
And it is the three of you again.
Well, I'm guessing that was his attempt.
Well, there'll be more, unless we can find a way out of all of this. A way to stop it. He won't stop, he can't.
Well, we can make it harder for him. We use that signal, open the portal. He'll send two of his guys through. We can just take him out.
We can take out his henchman, but we won't be able to do much about him.
So we don't have a plan for dealing with him directly, then?
I have some thoughts. She'll kind of glance over to Irileth. You won't like them.
Try me.
Well, I already like this.
I think the approach of kill Isilgeir is the wrong approach. He's not the problem, not the real one. Man of Mirrors is the real problem. We need to renegotiate the terms of their agreement. Force him to the table.
You want to make a deal with the devil?
I want to force the devil to rewrite his original deal.
That's a bold choice, but if there's any way of getting his soul out of it, I suppose that would be the way.
I think I could do it.
What are you going to offer him? That's a big ask.
I'm going to deal a spell from my mentor. An incredibly powerful elven spell that most mages will never know. And use a place of power to lock him in a time stop. This Odim wants to play with time. Thinks he can duck out of the rules by stopping it. Use his tricks against him. Force him to the table. Isilgeir's not failing to keep his end of the bargain if he's locked in time. I think what he's really after, the so dim, is Isildur's soul. I think he's going through an awful lot of trouble to get it. And the level of power that someone like Odim could derive from the soul of an elven sage is worrying, to say the very least.
Certainly not good for anyone else involved.
No. Especially if he thinks that something about that will allow him to survive what he says is coming. Another convergence.
So we put the old man on ice and make Odim make a new deal.
Force Odim to come to the table, renegotiate the original deal.
Well, if we're going to be doing business, I say you've got the best dwarf for it. She kind of smiles.
Nienna will nod. I think between you and I,
Not wrong, yeah.
I think between the two of us, we could negotiate the best terms. Lack your force of personality, but I am, and she'll kind of hold her hands out, told my mental faculties are, well, greater than most.
Perfectly all right. So then, now that we've got a basic outline of what we're going to do, how are we going to lure him
the
out?
reckless part. I have to sneak into Isildur's tower and get the spell. And potentially convince him to come with me to a place of power to power the spell. Because holding something like a time stop long enough to make a difference on my own, I'm pretty sure would just kill me. I, thankfully, am aware of and have been to a couple places of power throughout Dolblethana and a couple near, elsewhere.
Do you think that token will buy you a way in?
I think we use the token to get his companions away from him. I think if we can get them away from him, I won't be able to help you during the fight, but I could slip through a portal and go and have a discussion with the man who saved me.
Well, it would be well worth the gambit. And that begs the question then. We are still going to be bringing in the witches for fail-safe, yes?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, that was the original plan, to gather the two witches, and in particular, Geralt.
3.
Oh, well, 3, yes.
They're never going to help us against Odim. The best we can do is remove them from the board altogether.
To clarify, I think that Siegryn is meaning the witchers on your side, not the witchers that Irileth or Isildur is working with.
Correct, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. There's too many Witchers in the story. I can't keep them all straight.
So many Witchers in a game called The Witcher. Shocking.
It's all Witchers.
This game's a
Listen,
lie.
it's a
You
game
implied
called
only
The
one.
It's a game called The Witcher, as in one, singular. We've met how many so far?
Should just rename it to Too Many Witchers.
Oops, all Witchers. Anyway.
Yeah, Siegryn was talking about the Butcher of Blaviken and Foud, whereas you were talking about the Griffin School Witcher and the two Viper School Witchers.
Yes, I think talking to Geralt and Brynnhilder's, your companion? I can't keep track of who knows who anymore.
There are a fair amount of witchers at play right now. I don't blame you.
I think having them here is a good idea, for sure.
Good. All right. Well, seems like we have a plan in motion at the very least.
I'm also not entirely sure we should have the fight here when we call his servants.
Oh, yes. No. Not here.
I think we find somewhere distant enough, remote enough. I've been around, I've traveled enough. I can find a place to portal us to. You all will have a place to deal with the dirty business of killing them, and I will go and attempt to convince Isilgir to trust me.
Maybe somewhere that would be important to him. Somewhere that would throw him off his game.
Well, he has to go with me to a place of power. But he's the one who showed me the ones that I know. There's memories tied to them. She just looks sad when she says that.
Right.
I know you have your heart set on killing him. She's looking at Irileth. But I have to at least try to save his soul. No one, not even him, deserves what would happen to him. And the world doesn't deserve what would follow.
My order was technically to take out the guy in charge. Turns out your guy's just a patsy. So. I think we're going to make this work.
Thank you.
Well, don't thank me till it's over.
She'll shrug a little bit. Don't say we're going to try and make it work until you know that I'm going to survive the trip into a tower that's probably got a fair number of magical defenses against me.
Yeah, about that. I think I'm probably a better thief than you.
You wouldn't know what you're looking for. And I can't coach you because I'm not entirely sure. I won't know until I find it. What I do know is that he won't kill me. He will kill you.
Right. Maybe you can talk your way past him and when you need to, portal us in and we can keep him busy while you get what you need.
If needs be. I don't know that that'll be necessary, but it's a possibility. I'd like to avoid escalation if at all possible, and you are going to be needed wherever it is we decide to deal with his compatriots.
Yeah, if we do the two at the same time, then while we're fighting the snake scroll witchers, you can be sealing the spell.
Yes, not to mention the one from Brynnhilder's school.
How'd she get you anyway?
She went after Fenix to make sure that he was all right. He
didn't look all right. Sig, did he look all right to you?
He was not all right.
He's been better, I would say.
But Master Hattery said that he would be okay. That they spoke. If they had a conversation, then he's in far better shape than he was. And less likely to rip someone's face off. So that's nice.
Very nice, I would say.
Yeah, I like all our faces.
Me too.
And with that, Brynnhilder, you had been walking behind Fenix for a while, just keeping an eye on him, making sure that he's okay. Master Hattery went and spoke to him and seemed to calm him down even more, to the point where he was still in wolf form, but acting much more human, as he has before when he's a lot more calm. And he walked around the manor and to where Tasha is, still out of sight, but keeping an eye on her just for his own edification. And if you'd like, you can stay there and keep an eye on him more, or you can come and rejoin the rest of the cast. It is entirely up to you. If you need a bit of time to think, you are free to meditate and just keep aware of what Fenix is up to.
Yeah, I think I'll just keep an eye on him.
Very well. The night begins to pass, and Fenix, do you sleep at all, or do you just keep an eye on Tasha?
I think he just keeps an eye on Tasha. I don't think he's slept in like 2 days.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But
what?
yeah, he isn't going to sleep.
If at all possible, Nienna would go out and help Tasha at some point, but eventually will sleep. She just wants to kind of take some of the burden off of her for a little while.
Fair enough. You're able to help bolster her a little bit to the point where she looks less tired when you go out there. Like, help get her a little bit of water, so that way she can take a small break to make sure that she just recovers a little bit during
Probably
the long
recast
training.
Ritual of Magic.
Yep, recast the Ritual of Magic. Make sure that the circle's all put together again. And the night passes on. Everyone is able to rest and recover and recuperate, and wake up to a decent breakfast, albeit for those who are in the manor, at a very busy dining room table that is full of children, not screaming. They're all very calm and very put together, just trying their best to enjoy themselves and talk to one another and enjoy time with their parents, for those who still have them. After breakfast is being cleaned up, there is a large hammering knock at the door, like someone's just pounding their fist at it.
Go and answer the door.
And when you go to answer the door, you see that standing before you is a large figure that actually looks to be about an inch taller than Brynnhilder. Wide, very short, but kind of messy beard. Kind of looks a bit like a wild man, but his piercing gray eyes look down at you, and he just snorts a little bit. You see that dangling from his thick neck is a medallion shaped as a bear's head.
I will look all the way up at him. Good morning.
Morning. Where's Siegryn?
Lovely to meet you too. I'm Nienna, and she'll kind of step aside and let him in.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, your ladyship, whatever the hell. Siegryn!
I'm assuming she hears that.
Yeah, it's a deep bellowing, echoing outwards just call of your name.
Oh, that is not a voice I've heard in some time. Remind me again, what was his name?
His name is Foud.
Ah, right. She is gonna come scuttling into the scene, hands clasped together. Oh, hello, Foud. Good to see you again.
Yep. And he just moves to take a seat, and it almost looks like the seat won't fit him, but he makes it work.
How badly does this seat creak?
Enough that you might want to have a carpenter take a look at it when he's done.
Damn. I'm assuming you got my message then?
You're starting to go ahead and train urchins now? What happened to pigeons?
Oh, please. They get eaten way too often.
Yeah, especially with a whole lot of draconids about.
Exactly. Anywho, we are dealing with quite the situation. I'm hoping you at least skimmed some of the message that I sent you.
Yep, that's why I'm here.
Excellent. And she will actually take a prepared sack of coins and just toss it to him. It is plentiful and packed. The other half, after this is all over.
He takes the sack of coins, weighs it a little bit in his hand, pulls one out, and just bites at it. Yeah, all right. And he will put the coin back in and then just tie it to his hip. So, you all decided to start dancing with demons, huh?
So it would seem.
Technically, he came to us. We didn't
Even
decide
better.
to do anything. He just filled up our dance cards.
Yeah, it wasn't our
Even-
idea, but
Alrighty then. What all exactly do you know about him?
Siegryn Sorry, go ahead.
He's incredibly powerful, likes to play with time, tries to make deals with anyone he can. He's after the soul of a sage of extreme power. As he seems to think that gathering said soul and putting the plans that are in motion will somehow save him from another convergence of the spheres.
He just listens quietly as you speak, and then he's like, fuck, that's not good.
thanks for not walking out right away. So that is good.
Well, I've already been paid, so.
Well, we do have some good news, at least. We have mostly an outline on how to deal with them, but we're also looking to bring in another Witcher who has technically beaten him in the past.
Beat is a strong word.
Technically.
He's just survived longer than anyone else has.
All right. This other one got a name, or are you just going to leave me in the dark here?
Geralt of Rivia.
Good. Great. We're going with the fucking Vintner wolf. Great. Love it.
Well, if you have better ideas on how to deal with him,
Oh, me? No, I don't know. Shit. The furthest I usually go is the Witcher's way. Like how I was thinking I might handle him like a Heim. But I don't think that's going to work here. So probably for the best.
I'm going to go
Just
check
kind
on
of-
Tasha.
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
You head on out there. And you see that Tasha looks like she... the image of the sky across her eyes seems to be slowing. And she is smiling, and it looks like she's like bringing her hands together to almost like as a way to show like the ritual is almost at a close.
I'll stand and wait.
And then when her hands finally do come together, she lets in a deep inhale of breath and a smile as she looks to you. I know generally where he is. I believe I can pinpoint you to the closest village to his location, and then you'd have to ask around from there.
You can guide my portal, yes?
I mean, sure. You just need to give me a moment to collect myself again. It's been a while since I've done a long ritual like that.
I'll nod a little bit. Take all the time you need.
Of course. And you want to go ahead and tell the big guy to go in and get some sleep. He's been watching me all fucking night.
Kind of blink a little bit and look around for Fenix.
She will gesture her head, and you can just barely see like the eyes of the wolf from within the close cusp of trees.
Fenix, darling, you can shift back and go get some sleep now.
Now that the ritual is over, he will walk over and shake his head. I'm fine.
You need to sleep with what's coming.
I'll sleep when we find him.
She's gonna kind of pinch the bridge of her nose. We need you at your best.
He kind of like looks down at you, and I think you just like see in his eyes that he is. I think you've never seen him more focused than he is right now, and he just says, "I'm fine. Let's just get it over with."
Kind of shake her head a little bit. Fine. Well, Tasha's going to be taking a break before she tries to guide me on where to drop a portal in a place that I've never been. So, you at least have some time to take a nap. And I think we'd all feel better knowing that you've had some rest.
And they can check again at any moment. I need to be ready. Go. Eat. Sleep. He like looks down at Tasha.
All right, I'm going. Damn pushy, this one.
A bit. I'll clean up the mess from the ritual. Go get some rest.
All right, then.
And I will begin systematically packing up her things.
All right, it is not a long process to do this. You also know that Brynnhilder you didn't see Brynnhilder come into the manor again last night, and she didn't seem to be there for breakfast earlier today. But you know that one of the places she likely is that opening in the fields where you found her before, where she was meditating.
And I will go and find her after I clean up the mess. I'm taking the kind of care that I would take with my own supplies. Being very, very careful with everything. And I will make sure that it's all set next to probably the door of whatever room Tasha goes to.
Yep.
So that it's there for her when she wakes up, and then I will go find Brynnhilder.
Okay. Brynnhilder, you have been meditating for a good long while. It's good to be able to find a quiet spot and relax a little bit. And you can hear that there is someone familiar to you approaching.
She doesn't open her eyes.
Nienna will make her way over and just kneel in front of her, but with both of her legs kind of tucked up underneath of her so that she's kind of sitting on her own legs. Are you all right?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I'm all right. And then she'll open one eye. Are you all right?
Physically, I'm right as rain.
Your mental state tells a different story.
She usually does.
And she'll
We're not
open
here
this-
to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
I'm not. I am fine.
Yesterday can't have been easy for you. Having to fight yourself. And then turn and fight someone who looked like me.
Unfortunately, Dopplers are masters of making you second guess.
I'm glad you didn't second guess.
I don't have the luxury to second guess. I don't fight from afar. The moment I second guess, I'm dead.
Have a plan. An idea. After we talk to, what do the Dryads call him? The Gwyn Blythe. The White Wolf. I have a plan. I don't know that talking to Geralt will do us any good, but we can try. And if it doesn't, perhaps my idea will work.
Talking to someone who has dealt with this man in the past, in no matter what capacity, and managed to get out of it alive, will do us more good than harm.
I agree.
Even if he doesn't step up and help us, it'll at least give us a better idea of what it is we're up against. Because I don't think any of us are actually aware of what we're up against with this Man of Mirrors.
I don't think any of us know the full extent, but I don't think Geralt does either.
Has a better understanding of what it is than we do.
More hands-on experience for sure. So, Tasha's resting. We should all go and have a chat on what we're going to do next. I'd like to pitch my idea to everyone. So far, only Irileth and Siegryn have heard it. And Fenix isn't going to sleep until this is taken care of, so the sooner we discuss everything, the better, I think.
If he doesn't sleep until it's taken care of, the man will never sleep a day in his life.
Well, don't tell him that. He seems to think that he can get by on will alone.
That is the downfall of every man that I know, is they think that they can just get along on will and spirit alone. Most don't know that that isn't a way to go on in the long run.
Come on. She'll stand up and hold out a hand to help her up.
And she'll take the hand.
And then Nienna will lean back on her heels and use the full force of her body weight to attempt to pull someone who is like 2 feet taller than her up to their feet.
Brynnhilder will humor her a little bit and put more of her weight onto her ankles, so that way Nienna can get the experience of, I lifted someone who is double my height and probably triple my weight with just one hand.
the witcher from the bear schools here. Sigryn's friend.
All right.
And my understanding is he's already accepted the coin, so he's in it.
Okay. Crack her neck to one side, crack her neck to the other.
You know he's even bigger than you are.
That hurts my ego.
A little terrifying, if I'm being honest. I had to look straight up almost.
That doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Bigger they are, and all.
Bigger you are, the harder you fall. So. We should go.
Waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I will lead the way back to the manor.
And you head back inside, and you find that the Bear School Witcher is still in that seat, having been talking to Irileth and Siegryn, and is currently at the moment drinking an entire bottle of wine all in one go. Siegryn, you've seen you've been watching him drink. This is his third bottle.
God, he might actually drink my entire stock before the week is out. Oh, good. Brynnhilder, Nienna, you're both here. Amazing. Excellent.
Brynnhilder is gonna sit right next to the bear school guy, and the way that you look at the two of them, they both probably got the same deadpan expression on their face.
The Bear School Witcher just grabs another bottle after just tossing the empty one behind him, and then also grabs a second bottle and just holds one out for Brynnhilder.
Yeah, she'll take it and she'll just start drinking.
How goes the path, sister? And he just pulls the cork out with his teeth and then just starts drinking.
Yeah, she just kind of pops it off with in between her fingers and tosses it, and she starts drinking it. And this is when everybody starts seeing that witchers have the same pattern of they might have more than one dot in empathy, but they all act like they've got one dot in empathy.
Yeah.
Show as always, and she'll start drinking again.
Morning
Did Fenix
drinking.
join everybody?
Fenix, did you rejoin everyone?
He would have seen them or heard them go inside, so yeah. He would, as they're drinking outside, he would just enter, ducking and low through the door.
Is he still in wolf form, or has he reverted back to human?
He's still in wolf form.
You just see the drinking stops from the Bear Witcher as he just pulls the bottle up for a second, just stares over at Fenix, then just looks over at Brynnhilder.
You stab him, I break every single one of your fingers.
Don't threaten me with a good time. And he will just reach down and grab a bottle and just offer it to Fenix.
Everybody over 6 feet gets one. Sorry, short stacks.
Nienna, are we sure this is a good idea?
I think we're a little late for reconsidering.
Fenix will cock his head to the side like a freaking dog would for a second, just go, no, it's 9 a.m.
I know, I'm kind of late.
Oh, shit, is it? Oh, damn, I better get a drink in myself.
Nienna will kind of look thoughtfully at the two witchers and Siegryn, and then we'll walk over to the door that leads down to the Lord's wine cellar, lock it, and then tuck the key into her bodice. If you're drinking, they're drinking Sigryn stock.
Well, the Bear Witcher actually brought in a whole bunch of his own, And you see that the bottles are all actually marked with the symbol of a vineyard that only people from Tucson might have recognized. That it is the vineyard of Corvo Bianco.
But Fenix will shift back and take a seat. He brought pants.
Thank God I didn't have an extra pair for you.
Excellent.
Oh, Nienna,
Yes.
these are the Lords. And you'll put on the pants.
I'll make sure they're paid for.
Thank you. And he'll take a seat directly opposite the Bear Witcher.
All right. Well, in the last few days, we have come to realize that the biggest threat on the table is not Isilgear, as it turns out. The one pulling his strings. As far as I know, and I suspect as far as even the White Wolf knows, there's no way to kill him. Oh,
Can confirm.
however, we do know that he likes to make deals. And he seems to think that that's his strength, to his benefit. I'd like to turn it into his weakness. That and his predilection for toying with time. He's not the only one who has that gift. I've never done it, but if I can get my hands on the spell, which I am fairly certain Isilgear will have in his tower, we can use his tricks against him. His goal, ultimately, seems to be to get his hands on Isilgear's soul. I really don't think the children are his priority. And I think if Isilgear knew that his soul wasn't going to be up for grabs the second he stopped, we might be able to convince him to do so. At the very least, when he dies, we can know that he went where he was supposed to go and didn't end up with that monster. So, here's the idea that I have, and she will pull the token out of her pocket. This is a token that he provided to the Dopplers that we dealt with yesterday. Once they got inside and got to the children, they were supposed to burn the token. Isilgear would open a portal, and his 3 Witcher friends would come through and shepherd the children back to him, where he would be a welcome, a waiting and smiling face. My thought, we go somewhere else, somewhere away from here. Enough that the children aren't at risk, obviously. Burn the token. Get him to open the portal. When the witches come through, I dispel the portal and force it closed. And then I go to him. Or step through the portal and then dispel it. It would be easier to dispel it from this side, though he'd have a harder time countering me. I'm reasonably certain that I've gotten myself to a point with casting that it won't hurt me the way as much as it did before. It might still leave me with a headache, but nothing like last time. And if I don't hold it open, I won't exhaust myself. You all deal with his employees. These 3 witches. And then I have a chat with Isilgear. Or sneak around the tower until I find the spell that I need. It would be easier to get him to agree to come with me, though. Once I have him, agree to get him to come with me, take him to a place of power, use the place of power to fuel a time stop spell, lock a seal gear in it, so he can't do anything. He won't be failing to live up to his part of the agreement because he'll be frozen in time. And that gives us the leverage that we need to force Odin to the table. Or at least to buy us the time to banish him. I'd prefer to force him to the table, get him to renegotiate the contract.
And when we renegotiate, what's the new deal?
She'll shake her head. I have to know more about the deal as it stands before I can renegotiate, but I think between Siegryn and I, we can make that happen. I have faith in our abilities.
All in favor?
I got a quick question here. Why exactly is this Isildur or whatever the hell? Why exactly is he going to follow you? Because you're learned from him? Because you got a really nice set? And he just like puts his hands up to like where his chest is?
All of the above, dear.
Ah. Fun.
Stilgir was my mentor. Was also my lover after that. And he's apparently doing all of this to keep me safe, so I must still mean something to him, even if we're not together anymore.
God, even you elves are so sappy.
Hey man, are you in on the plan or not?
Oh, I'm in. I mean, I got paid to be in, right?
That you did.
Brynnhilder,
Mhm.
the Doppler that we captured yesterday said that one of the three witches that are with him is from your school.
I
Just-
am aware.
She'll nod a little bit. I just wanted to make sure that you knew. I'm afraid I won't be much help during the fight. But I
Any chance of sorry.
Go ahead.
Any chance of getting Geralt of Rivia before we go after this guy?
Absolutely. Tasha at least has a rough idea of where he is. Once she's had some rest, she will help me to pinpoint the exact location I need to drop the portal, and once we're there, we'll have to ask around. But we'll at least be in the closest town to where he is.
Right.
My understanding is one of us, and she'll look over at Siegryn with a little smile, is very good at finding people. Or is it finding people who can find people? Either way, any thoughts against the idea?
No.
Unanimous agreement then.
No, I just So your convincer is saying that you're going to freeze him in time while you go deal with Odin.
I'm going to lock him in time so that he can't be violating the terms of his agreement.
Yes.
Which means that Odin can't claim his soul, and he lives perpetually
No, I
place of
understand
power.
that. This is also a man that's doing everything in his power to keep you safe.
I'm aware.
Do you truly believe you can get the job on him with a spell like that?
I don't need to. I think I can convince him to go along with it. Or, frankly, he won't necessarily know that I know the spell. It's not something that your typical mage knows. Certainly
You're not
not
a
something he
typical
ever
mage.
taught me. Certainly not something he ever taught me.
Yes, but you're not a typical mage. He's gonna know that you're up to something. Something to work around this entire contract, and he's gonna do everything in his power to make sure it goes through. Because he's in love with you. He doesn't want you hurt.
So we're gonna have to stop him.
Aye. I'm all for freezing him in time and renegotiating that contract. But I'm not foolish enough to think that a man that is doing to everything he can, and I mean everything he can, maybe even burning the world to the ground to keep you safe, is going to willingly let himself be put to the side while you put yourself in danger. So I'm
Which is why
all for most of this plan. But just words? I'm not convinced that's going to be enough to slow him down.
I know him. I also know. She'll kind of swallow for a moment and look towards the bear witcher. I also know how to force his hand if I have to.
The Witcher just gives a kind of a mean grin at you.
And she will take a heavy pouch of coin and put it in front of him. If we fail, I want you to kill me.
what? Fuck no.
Siegryn just balks at this.
I think Fenix actually stands up in his chair, takes his really long arms and grabs that sack of gold from in front of the bear.
Yeah. Brynnhilder's gonna stand up too.
And he's going to drag it over to his side of the table. Understood. He'll sit back down.
No offense, even as a werewolf, I don't think you could manage it.
I don't know, I'd put money on him. I wasn't gonna take that money though. I ain't a fucking cat.
I'm not taking the money. I just don't want you to just take the money and walk away. But understood. He's looking at Nienna directly in the eye. If that's what you want.
It's not what I want, but it's a good way to force his hand.
It is.
Yeah, there's a better way to force his hand, and it's kick his ass.
Kicking his ass won't force his hand, Irileth.
If he can't
just-
stop you from casting the spell, then you can cast the spell. Right?
And how do you plan to stop him from stopping me?
There's
No offense,
four of
I've
us
seen
here.
him in action. I have seen him in action. Even with all 5 of us together, we couldn't stop him.
Well, I guess find out. Hopefully not, but maybe.
Well, I trust you, Nienna. And frankly, with the team that we have here, I'm feeling a little confident that this will go pretty well.
You should lower your expectations, Siegryn.
Like, to the floor, Siegryn. I mean, it's not that hard for you. I mean, you're already so close, but...
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Brynnhilder tries to hold back a laugh. I wasn't gonna say it.
No, that's what I was.
Let's get to work.
All right.
Out of character, we can't do anything until Tasha's up, so.
Yep.
We can.
Uh,
I was gonna say, Phoenix is like, no, but we can pick out the location that we want to try at least combat them in first.
Elven Ruins, maybe?
I don't do well in tight spaces.
I mean, if we're going to go see Geralt, could see if maybe he'd be willing to get a place for us to throw down, right?
Wait, that
has
won't
to
work.
be-
None of that's going to work. It actually has to be here because Isilgir knows he sent his agents here to spring the trap. If we tell him the portal somewhere else, he's going to be suspicious.
I don't think he has an exact idea. I think he's using this, and she'll kind of hold the item up as a beacon. He doesn't know precisely where we are.
So those Dopplers found out where we were and didn't tell him?
No.
Whoppers. Sorry,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, Jim sent the Dopplers after them. After Master Hattery. He knows him personally. And he knows I'm involved. All he had to do was watch one of the people we care about and figure out the rest. I'm sure he stood around and waited while I asked Hattery to deliver the weapons.
Maybe, but the contracts aren't for... Oh, damn, they're for Isilgir. That's the name
Do
you
you
found
really
in his
think-
head.
That's... Irileth, all he had to do was tell them. Hi, I work with your boss. Go here. Take this man out. Then go here. Pretend to be this person.
I think you're misunderstanding a chain of command here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also wouldn't put it past this guy to manipulate himself into the chain of command. Forging papers doesn't take a genius per se. But what do I know? And she takes another swig of wine.
I understand how the magic works. If he doesn't have a beacon, he can't create the portal and know that it's going in the right place, which says to me he doesn't know where the portal's going. We only have to get him to open it up long enough for them to come through. And then I can dispel it.
No, that being said, it sounds like the sooner the better in that case.
Yes.
I'll pack a bag.
Wherever we do this, it has to be somewhere that I know, but I can think of a few places that'll give you all what you need for an ideal fight. High place for you, and she'll nod at Irileth. Enough place to move for you, and she'll nod at Fenix. And you're good wherever you end up, and she'll look at Brynnhilder. As long as it's got high ceilings. Or no ceiling.
Preferably not a bog. He'll nod towards Siegryn.
Not a bog. I can do that.
Oh, good, thank you.
Or a pond. And she'll look at Siegryn again and give her a shit-eating grin.
Yes, or a puddle of water. I might be fit to drown.
Woods
Or a swamp,
Or a bath.
any kind of tributary, really.
It's a shame we're not
A place
natural
with
born
high
swimmers.
shelves.
You know what? I could help you learn quickly. Your life would depend on it.
It'd be trying to teach a rock to swim and better off.
Oh yeah, that thing you did out there in the road was terrifying, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's a spell modeled on a place out in the ocean where only the most suicidal of captains sail. So,
Well, shit.
obviously, mine isn't the size of the actual thing, but it's a good inspiration.
And here I was thinking they just both somehow managed to trap themselves into a sinkhole.
No,
happens.
Curse of Sedna is the name of the spell.
Informative. Well, I suppose we shouldn't tarry any longer then, yes?
Well, we should
Yeah.
rest. Tasha's resting, and we are not going anywhere until she's done. And then we will go talk to Geralt, and onward to death and glory. Preferably more glory than death.
Or any place with like really tall grass. We need to see where Siegryn is.
She just sighs. Her eyes close as she just quietly accepts the death of her ego.
Yeah, I think for the first time in like 3 days, you like really heavy bags under his eyes. He has like the smallest grin.
Phoenix,
Yes.
please take the opportunity to go take a nap. We're not going anywhere until Tasha's awake anyway. The rest of us have slept. We can take watch.
I can't sleep until I know my family is safe. And he says that looking at Brynnhilder.
The Witcher just looks over to Brynnhilder. So, do you want to axe him or should I?
Touch a hair on his head, and I will make sure you wake up without a penis.
I wasn't going to touch him. I was just going to cast a spell to tell him to go to bed. Jesus.
I don't need magic for that. Phoenix. If you don't get your sleep, you're not going to be able to protect your family.
Wouldn't be the first time.
You
Besides,
want to make it the second?
we have other issues to address. Let's get going. I'll stand up.
We literally can't go anywhere for hours, Phoenix.
He was like, you think I'm going to just stand around for hours?
No, you're
We have
gonna
a lot-
lie around.
You all have silver weaponry I need to sharpen and take care of. I have work to do.
Brynnhilder, do we need to bounce him up to the bedroom?
He's just walking out of the room.
This is
Like,
I'm stubborn, but
you're stubborn. He's a bitch.
I mean, I don't know if that's technically accurate.
I'm gonna go keep drinking now, and she's gonna take another bottle of wine off of the table and go take another like a whole like drink of it and go outside and take out her silver sword for Phoenix to sharpen.
The Bear Witcher is actually going to stand up and say, I'm going to go talk to her. It's been a minute since I've talked to another Witcher. Nice meeting y'all, I guess. And he just like sort of just swings the bottle and heads on out after.
Have fun networking. Don't flirt too hard, sweetie.
Nah, she's not my type. And he is actually going to go over to Brynnhilder and just like hold out his bottle just to sort of cheers, like clinking the necks of the bottle together.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know that other griffin that he's got then, right?
More than I'm willing to admit.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that they realize that this mission going wrong hurts me just as much as it hurts the mage.
Yeah, I get you. For little as it's worth, I'm sorry that we have to deal with this sort of shit this way.
Oh. Unfortunately, I don't have much of a say at the end of the day, so it's just another job.
Aren't they all? By the way, if you tell Siegryn I came out here and was being sappy, I will leave you with only half of a tit left.
Wow, at least take me out to dinner first.
I mean, I would, but I don't think you'd like to, eat raw wolf.
Haven't had the palate for it since school, but I could make do. Fuck.
And with that, we are going to say goodnight for this evening.